Hi, this is Dar Danielson from CISN.TV. We're waiting to get the game started tonight. If you're tuning in for the kickoff of Valley and Cedar Rapids Kennedy, the sophomore game ran a little long tonight, so they're out warming up right now. We're about 15 to 20 minutes away from kickoff when Keith and Pat will sit here and get you going on the pregame show and then get you going on the play-by-play. But just a little bit of time left for that, so if you're tuning in, looking for the Valley, Cedar Rapids Kennedy game, it'll be coming up shortly. Again, the sophomore game ran a little bit long, so just keep watching here, and we'll have high school football on CISN.TV along for you in just a bit.
Schottenkirk's All-American Labor Day Sales Event featuring one low price on Iowa's top two brands. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. Serving free hot dogs and soda 11:30 to 1:30. Hundreds of new Chevys and Fords marked with one low price. Schottenkirk needs used car inventory and is in a position to give you more for your trade. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. The Labor Day Sales Event going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it. To
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
And keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Kennedy's number 10.
Miss your hometown clothing store,
10.
the one that had it all.
Radio Iowa
everything
poll has
to get
them
the work done.
and
All
Valley
in
number one
place.
and Radio Iowa.
G&L Clothing is
Are
your
you talking
hometown
register?
Iowa store. Stop
Going
in
what
and see
I thought.
us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, beside your style, we've got it all.
Welcome to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines and high school football on CISN.TV. I'm Pat Curtis with Keith Bornis, and we've got a top 10 Class 4A matchup tonight between West Des Moines Valley and the visiting team Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Valley posting a big win last week over Dowling, Keith.
It was a great game for everybody on both sides of the ball, actually. And one of the things that people have a big question about is Valley that good? Or as an end result, did Valley just make Dowling that much better, knowing that they had a couple of holes to fill in?
And Cedar Rapids Kennedy has never played Valley in football before. They make the trip all the way over here with a 2-0 record.
Yeah, it was great talking to some of their coaches. They talked last night at the freshman game over in Cedar Rapids. Just the fact that Valley has been over to different camps. Other CIML schools have been over to different camps over on the east side of the state. But as far as Cedar Rapids Kennedy and some of the other Cedar Rapids schools, they've never played CIML schools, and they really want to find out, league for league, how things kind of match up.
All right, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. The keys for Valley getting a win tonight.
Well, the keys for Valley tonight, they have to get in on the quarterback. The defensive line has got to put some pressure in and make sure that they can contain the quarterback and those two running backs. Kennedy has two dynamite running backs. If Valley can get in there and control the line of scrimmage and keep everybody inside in the middle, Valley's got a very good shot defensively. Offensively, they have to get their weapons going. Trey Fugate had a great game last week. Bo Lombardi was on top of his game. Receivers, everybody was meshing. So ball control, ball security. For Kennedy to win, they got to make sure those running backs are running tough, and they got to find a way to contain the Valley offensive backfield.
All right, the keys to the game brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. We'll take a timeout here. When we come back, we'll hear from the coaches of both teams. This is CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their
Good night,
family.
everybody.
That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me. Because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather's specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Catch is made, and he fumbles. Valley causes a fumble. It's picked up. Recovered by Mason Morris. Mason picks up where he left off last year, one of the leading rushers in Central Iowa.
It's time now for West Des Moines Valley High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live-streamed high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Valley Tiger High School football.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. It's West Des Moines Valley against Cedar Rapids Kennedy tonight in a Class 4A battle. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornis with the call. Dar Danielson will have some sideline reports. Now let's hear from the head coaches. First, Cedar Rapids Kennedy coach Brian White. This is his 5th season leading the Cougars, who posted lopsided wins over Linmar and Jefferson to open this season. No. Okay, we'll see if we can get to the coaches in a little bit. Want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Mid-American Energy, a powerful energy resource. Also, G&L Clothing. No matter the weather, we've got you covered. And let's talk about the weather, Keith. It's not raining.
It's not raining. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you go over the visiting sideline and stands and up into the green space over there to the east, that field looks green, but it's actually underwater. It has been an incredible amount of rain. And it's not just Valley that's been dealing with it. Everybody in Cedar Rapids, Kennedy, they're all in the same boat. They've been struggling to find practice space this week because everybody has a grass field over in Cedar Rapids except for their playing field at Kingston. So it's been rough on everybody.
And we'll see if we can hear from coaches Gary Swenson and Brian White here in a little bit. Again, this is, first off, Kennedy coach Brian White talking about their lopsided wins over Linn-Mar and Jefferson. We do not have that. Sorry. And we have the Valley cheerleaders on the field about 6 minutes before kickoff. Valley entering this contest with a 21-7 win over Southeast Polk in the season opener. Dowling a 20-6 win over the Maroons. And Dowling, we've talked a lot about them, 5 consecutive state titles, yet they've lost 3 of 4 meetings with Valley, I think, in recent years.
Yes, over the last 6 years that Dowling has put together great programs, Valley has won 3 of those in the regular season.
All right, let's hear from Coach Brian White of Kennedy. Not playing. We're having trouble getting the audio to play of the head coach's interview, so we'll just keep it here with 5 minutes to go before kickoff. We'll take a timeout here shortly before that kickoff. We've not had a decision who's kicking off yet, have we, Keith?
We have not seen the coin flip. But, seeing as how we have a little bit of time here, Pat, it is shout-out time. I don't know if you're aware of this. I have fans.
Huh.
I have fans. 2.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, I have 2. Doug and Sue Buchanan, they check out CISN.TV a little bit, and every now and again, they text me and say hi.
Terrific.
Because why not?
Excited to see this Cedar Rapids Kennedy offense. Talking with Coach Brian White, he's got kind of an old school offense. They like to run the I, and they've got 2 running backs. His son, as a sophomore, Mac White, has run for over 100 yards in both of the 2 games, as well as Heron Hendred, who last week against Linn-Mar, 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also gone over 100 yards in the opening 2 games.
It's amazing the 1-2 punch that these guys bring to Kennedy's offensive backfield. They are hard to stop. They're hard runners. They're fast runners, and they certainly are not afraid of contact. The other nice thing about them is they can make you miss.
And kind of similar offenses in a way to Valley. Also 2 very good running backs in Trey Fugate and Creighton Mitchell.
Yes, Creighton Mitchell is a return guy and had more carries last year than Trey. Trey Fugate has really turned on, had a great offseason, had a great track season along with Creighton Mitchell, then came back into the fall here. They both look very good when they have the ball in their hands.
Testing
Fugate had 19 carries last week against Dowling, 128 yards and a touchdown. And that is Dar Danielson testing his microphone on the sideline. We'll hear from him in a little bit. He's our sideline reporter tonight. Right now, let's take a timeout before we get to the kickoff. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium, CISN.TV. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornas with the call tonight between West Des Moines Valley and Cedar Rapids Kennedy. And pretty soon, Valley will be charging out onto the field, hoping to move their record to 3-0. They're ranked number 1, Keith, in the Radio Iowa poll this week, Class 4A. Des Moines Register has them a little bit lower than that, but certainly after that performance over Dowling, you could argue they're the best team in the state.
You could argue that right now. And, talking with John Shaner after that Dowling game, it was one of those things where we kind of looked at each other and he said, it's great to be where we are right now, but it's going to be tough to stay where we are right now.
Let's go down to Dar Danielson on the field and get an idea.
Ready for me?
Yes, here he is.
Little breezy down here out of the north. That might affect the kicking game tonight a little bit, but otherwise, not a bad night for football. Once they get playing, it's going to feel pretty good for them down here on the field.
All right, thanks a lot, Dar Danielson. He's standing on the Valley sideline at about the 25-yard line, and we'll hear from him periodically tonight about how things are down on the field. We're high up in the press box, and as Valley and Cedar Rapids Kennedy, the captains for tonight's game, take the field to determine who will kick off and from which direction each team will be going to start the game. Again, Valley 2-0, Kennedy also 2-0. For people here in Des Moines that may be watching, unfamiliar with Kennedy a little bit because these two teams have never met on the football field. The Cougars are under Brian White, the head coach, in his 5th season. In his 2nd season, he took them all the way to the 4A championship with a record of 13-0, and then they lost to Dowling 41-10. 6-3 last year after a 5-1 start, and obviously they have high hopes for this season after a couple of big wins over Jefferson, 34-0, and Linmar, 33-7. When I talked to Valley coach Gary Swenson, he said maybe Kennedy hasn't played quite the talented teams we have, but still very impressive wins in both those games.
That's right. It is going to be interesting to see how tonight's game unfolds, and I certainly like the approach that Kennedy's coaching staff has taken on, and the Cedar Rapids schools in general, because Waukees playing Prairie, and I think Southeast Polk is playing an eastern side as well. We kind of get an idea of where teams are going to be fitting in their own league, and also as we cross-league these next couple of games.
And this is the contract that was signed has Valley going to Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids next year. And I know a lot of schools are doing this across the state. Mm-hmm. Last year, Kennedy traveled to Bettendorf. So they're, just asking Coach White a little bit about their travel plans. I think they left at like 1:30 today. They wanted to be here. They wanted the varsity players here for the early game, which Valley won the freshman game?
Sophomore game.
Sophomore game. 41-0 was the final score, Valley winning that one. And as you can see on the field, Valley will kick off from our left to right. So Kennedy will take the opening kickoff coming from Cole Peterson, who has quite a leg.
He's put a few into the end zone. And no change on this one.
Wow. All right. Cole Peterson kicked a 43-yard field goal against Southeast Polk. He's also the punter for Valley. So here we go. Kennedy with quarterback Charlie Hafner He's a senior, 6'5", 180 pounds. He leads this offense that features the two running backs, Aaron Hendred and Max White, who also often take some snaps in the wildcat position. We'll see that, but right now they're starting off with sort of the traditional I formation. And we're underway. This is Hendred, and he's got about 3-4 yards to the far side of the field.
Boy, I tell you what, when he got the ball, he looked like he was going to get that corner. He's got some good speed. Valley defense, they showed that they can move laterally as well.
Hendred, a sprinter. I know he finished like 7th, 8th in the 100-yard dash, and that was a sophomore last year at state track. 2nd down and 7. Here's Hendred again to the far side. He's got an opening and a first down and a tackle out there by Drew Urich.
Nice job by Urich coming up to make that tackle. You just saw the speed, the explosiveness that Hendred has, and I don't think Valley wants to give him 100 meters to run in.
So 1st down and 10 from their own 34. This is Kennedy, the opening drive of the game. Hendred with his 3rd carry on the 3rd play for the Cougars, and he's got another big gain to the right side. It looks like they're happy to run over their right tackle, Josh Viss, 6'2", 280 pounds. Also, Connor Colby, the right guard, 6'5", 275. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, last week Valley had to deal with Dowling's big offensive line. Well, Kennedy's got a really big offensive line of their own.
Their center, Zach Ender, also 275, 6'5". This is Max White, his first carry. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Kennedy is still ahead of the game as far as chains are concerned. It's going to be a 3rd and short. But when you're knocking out 8 and 7 yards a crack on the first on 1st and 10, that keeps you ahead of the chains.
Tonight's game brought to you by Godfather's Pizza, the official pizza of CISN.TV. Keith enjoyed about 4 or 5 pieces before the game.
Pizzas.
Oh, wow. Hafner with the handoff up the middle. Looks like the Cougars are going to be just short of a 1st down. It will bring up 4th down and 1.
Nice job by Jake McCudden and the rest of the Valley defensive interior line. Jake McCudden did a great job taking control of the center there.
Wow, the Cougars are at least lining up to go for it. 4th down and 1, a big play right off the bat. They're on their own 43-yard line. And look at those 3 running backs.
2 lead blockers, and number 3 is the ball carrier. I don't think he got it.
He did not. The line judge coming out and clearly short, so Valley will take over with tremendous field position. Now let's see. Will they
They're going to bring it out to measure.
A critical
From my
measurement here and where they spotted the ball.
Yeah, my vantage point still says it's going to be short. So to me, it would be more of a courtesy.
Quite a bit short.
Yeah, the Valley crowd could see that right away.
All right. So critical change of events early on here. The Cougars driving with the opening kickoff out to their own 43, go for it on 4th and 1, and the Valley defense comes up big. So now, this is Bo Lombardi, the quarterback for the Tigers, a senior, 6'3", 230. The running backs that are behind him right now are Nate Wilcoxon and Trey Fugate, a junior and senior. A little shotgun formation for Lombardi. And Fugate will take it right up the middle, and he runs over a couple of Cougars and appears to have a 1st down.
Cade Parker for Cedar Rapids Kennedy had a pretty good beat on him, but he had dropped into some coverage on the play action, and Trey Fugate was able to take advantage with a little bit of a hole there.
It's still 2nd down and 1. So just short of the first on that opening play. And Fugate is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage and taken backward, but his forward motion will get him pretty much back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Kennedy runs that stack 3-5 defense, and I tell you, Coach Swenson said that they run it extremely well. On 3rd down here, you can look to see that there's probably going to be 6 or 7 guys rushing hard here.
Fumble, but Bo Lombardi able to pick it up and run it for a 1st down.
Good heads-up play there by Lombardi, and not an easy guy to bring down in his own right either.
Passed for 1,600 yards last year as the starter, and he's back and threw for 179 yards against Dowling, 11 for 14 too, so he was on target.
He was.
And he just throws it out of the reach of Creighton Mitchell. So this will be 2nd down and 10. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. This is Valley's first possession again. Cedar Rapids Kennedy taking the opening drive, but coming up short on a kind of surprising 4th and 1 play in their own end of the field. So Valley with great field position. And again, 2nd down and 10 on the 29 of Kennedy. That's Fugate to the right of Lombardi. Lombardi back to pass. He's being pressured. He gets it away to Fugate.
Nice move.
Ooh, very nice. Down to the 12-yard line. 1st down, Tigers.
Bo Lombardi doing a great job, not only avoiding the pass rush there, but knowing where he was on the field. He did not cross the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball to an open Trey Fugate.
That's experience right there, isn't it?
It sure
the way
is.
he just stood in the pocket and knew where the defenders were.
Well, you know, at 240 pounds, you can be a little more confident than somebody at 140 pounds.
Lombardi passing. And he's got his fullback, Wilcoxon, to the near side of the field, down to the 10, a couple yards on that gain.
Nate Wilcoxon had a fantastic game last week against Dowling. He is a bruising fullback, but surprisingly, not to him, of course, the rest of the world, he's got great hands, and people were not picking him up until later in the game, and he had to have close to 80 yards receiving.
Wow. Nicky Train into the ball game at tight end. 2nd down and 7. Under center this time is Lombardi, and Fugate looking for some running room, and there's not much there.
For a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss, that play took forever. He went in, met in the middle. He ended up meeting 2 guys there from the defensive line, and then a linebacker came in and helped finish that off.
Trayvon Bradley, the nose tackle, was right in on that, number 43. He's a senior, 205 pounds, matched up against Zach Shaner, the center for Valley. 3rd down and 10, big play. Lombardi takes the snap and finds New, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. That's Ryan New, the junior. Great play call.
Nice play call there as they set up a double screen. Fugate out to the left and Ryan New coming in on that slip screen, and he was wide open.
And let me see here. Was that about a 13-yard touchdown pass?
Ended up being a 13-yard touchdown pass.
From Lombardi to New. And the extra point is good by Cole Peterson. So with 5:52 to go in the first quarter, it's Valley 7, Kennedy 0. A timeout here on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's All-American Labor Day Sales Event featuring one low price on Iowa's top 2 brands. Schottenkirk
yeah, if
Chevy
he's
Waukee,
free.
Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. Serving free hot dogs and soda 11:30 to 1:30. Hundreds of new Chevys and Fords marked with one low price. Schottenkirk needs used car inventory and is in a position to give you more for your trade. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. The Labor Day Sales Event going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola.
Let's go down to the field and hear from Dar Danielson.
Ryan New found the perfect spot in there. He got right in the opening, caught it, and then turned quickly and cut inside. This is going to be a big battle between these two offensive lines, but if Valley can keep passing like that, it's going to keep the defense back on their heels.
Dar Danielson, our sideline reporter tonight. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornes up here in the broadcast booth as Cedar Rapids Kennedy will get their second chance with the ball, trailing 7-0. Again, Charlie Hafner, the quarterback. The Cougars lost B.J. White to graduation last year. He threw for 10 touchdown passes, almost 1,000 yards in his senior season. So Hafner taking over the signal calling duties. He's under center.
Whoa.
And tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe the ball. No, the play was done. So no gain on that one from Kayron Hendred. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Logan Krusman came in and made a great stop. It almost looked like a loss of a half a yard, but it still brings up 2nd and 10 on the scoreboard.
And the first pass play for Hafner, and it's caught out there by, is that Hendred? Whoever it was could not quite keep his feet, but did get close to the first down.
Was that Luke Guido?
That's right.
All right. He he had a lot of green space to run.
All right, 3rd down and 2. And it looks like the Cougars will have a first down across the 30. Again, Kennedy taking the opening kickoff out to their own 43. They drove about 23 yards, and on 4th and 1, decided to go for it in their own territory, were stuffed, and then Valley came back on their opening possession, score a touchdown, a 13-yard pass from Lombardi to New. Here we go, 1st and 10, Cougars at their own 31. And this is the Wildcat position. Max White hands it off, or I'm not sure if the snap went to the runner, but at any rate, it's very close to another first down on the far side of the field, the run from Kayron Hendred.
Kennedy's doing a very nice job getting a surge off of the line of scrimmage. When that snap happens, Ender is getting downfield. Doing a great job getting the snap and his foot going. Heading north right now.
Again, it looks like Max White in the Wildcat position, and he keeps it. He's just a sophomore, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
Looks like they gave him the first down there.
All right.
Zach Ender is blocking people 7 and 8 yards downfield. When you have a center that can get that type of a surge, it's going to open up the middle a little bit.
And Ender, a senior, 6'5", 275. He just looks a little bit bigger than everybody else on the field. Again, the snap to White, the handoff to the near side to Hendred, and he's dropped for a loss by Roy Jensen.
Roy Jensen has done a great job as he has worked his way into the starting lineup. He's got a nose for the football. Last week, Valley had 4 opportunities for interceptions. Roy had 2 of those opportunities, but they just weren't there. And so he finds himself in the right place at the right time, and that was no different there as he came up with the shoestring tackle.
Second down, 13 yards to go for the first. This is Mac White keeping it. Looks like he wants to pass, and he's got a receiver open, but great tackle right after the catch. Let's see there. It looks like Mekhi Harris with the catch, the junior for the Cougars.
And that's one of the things that Kennedy also has is a great set of receivers. We talked in the pregame about how good they are at the running game, but they can throw the ball and move it downfield as well.
Nearing midfield, 3rd and 4. This is White passing again, and it's caught by Malik Adams.
Roy Jensen in on that tackle again.
Short of the first. And now the Cougars will punt, but if they can knock them down, Valley will have a difficult place to start here.
Yes, Kennedy thinks it is now a time to flip the field. However, if they're going to go for it on 4th down, you can certainly think that they might go ahead and try a fake here as well.
Trying to see, I think this is Austin Vandersea with the punt, and not a very good one, unfortunately, for Kennedy. So the Tigers will take over in just a bit here in their own territory at their own 39. A quick timeout on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
As we come back, Valley with the first play, looks like a 9-yard gain on that first down run. With 1:10 to go in the first quarter, it's Valley 7, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0.
Valley's had, with this being their second possession, they've had 2 great starting points, one after a 4th down that didn't make it, and then one after a 12-yard punt that kept Valley in pretty good field possession.
Lombardi under center, a handoff, and a first down for the Tigers. That would appear to be Fugate.
Here's an example of Trey Fugate. Trey Fugate 2 years ago is going to try and stretch that to the sideline. Trey Fugate last year, later in the game, might try to turn it up a little bit. This year as a senior, Trey Fugate did turn that up, and that's the difference between being dropped for a loss of 2 or 3 yards and gaining 2 or 3 yards for the first down.
His confidence level has to be sky high after running for 128 yards against Dowling last week, I would think. Here he is in the open field, making people miss. A big run down to the 18-yard line. Fugate, let's see here, just about a 30-yard plus run.
The old adage is, get your 3 and the 30 will come. Get your 4 and the 40 will come. Trey Fugate has done a great job making sure that if he's supposed to run in between the tackles, he's running in between the tackles. If he's supposed to go off tackle, he's running off tackle. So far, he has been getting the 3, the 4, the 9, and now the 38-yard run.
It would appear might be one more play before the end of the first quarter. A few ticks left on the clock. The snap is made, and this will be Fugate again. And he's going to be dropped after a 1-yard gain. So when we come back, it will be 2nd down and 9. Valley leading 7-0 as we go to the second quarter. A timeout on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages. all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
7-0 Valley after the first quarter. Let's go down to the field and Dar Danielson.
Offensively, Kennedy was early on pulling guards and sending them through there, but Valley caught onto that defensively and was able to stop them. And then a big block there by Ryan New to help seal off the defender and get the extra yards and get Valley down here on the verge of another score early on.
Thanks, Dar. 2nd and 8 from the 15-yard line. Valley. Bo Lombardi with the keeper, and he's got a big 10-yard gain. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Bo Lombardi, Donovan McNabb, kind of did the same thing there. Did a nice job setting up the fake out there to Fugate on a kind of a little bubble pass, but then just decided to tuck it down and run.
Nicky Train coming in, Will Coxton coming out, and Lombardi will be in the shotgun formation with a 1st and 6 yards to go to the goal line. Lombardi passes out to the far side. Creighton Mitchell, is he in? No signal yet.
They're calling down to
short.
1. Nice job on the play action. Fugate has been doing a great job running up the middle. He's been doing a great job running to the offside. Little RPO action here, hitting Creighton Mitchell out on the swing pass.
All right, I formation it would appear on a 2nd down, goal to go from the 1. And touchdown Valley, that is Fugate.
Oh.
And he ran over Sam Harrison in the end zone.
Hello, Mr. Harrison. He wasn't touched until 3 yards deep, and then he kind of delivered the blow himself.
All right, so after the point after goal here, it should be 14-0 Valley after the 1-yard touchdown plunge from Fugate. Cole Peterson's kick is good. It's Valley 14, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0. Just underway in the second quarter. This is CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
All right, Trey Fugate, a 33-yard run at the end of the first quarter, and then he gets the 1-yard touchdown plunge, and it is 14-0 Valley as the Cougars take their 3rd possession of the game, I think.
Great job by the kickoff team. One of the toughest things for a kickoff team to do is be running down the field, ready to cover, and the guy actually fumble the ball. It disrupts your timing mentally. And yet, when he picked it up, Valley did not create any gaps. They were able to cover him up, get him tackled right there at 16.
Kamarian Graham and Kayron Hendred are behind the quarterback, Charlie Hafner. This is Hendred for a few yards. Tonight's game is brought to you by Shield. Discover your passion.
Clayton Adamson was lined up there from the corner. He was on a corner blitz. And if he'd have been able to sneak in just a little bit sooner, if he'd have been closer to the interior line when he left, he had a beat on the runner, but Kennedy was able to turn that up, gain a few.
See if the Cougars can get their running game going and march down the field here. They've had some positive things happen, but there's a
one.
big one for Kamarian Graham, a big run of 30 yards for the fullback, the junior, 220 pounds. He was going right up the middle, bounced it outside, and that's the first big play for the Cougars.
What I was really impressed with there is Sam Harrison is down the field, 40 yards, still pushing Valley's defensive back downfield. He had him tied up well, not a hold. He just kept him engaged and pushing back.
Like about 28 yards on that carry. Here's Max White trying to get some room, but he's dropped for about a yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 10 right at midfield for Kennedy with under 10 minutes to go in the first half.
John Shaner on the safety blitz kind of disrupted things at first. And then a few of his friends came in to finish the play.
I think this is Mac White still under the under the center, and he'll keep it and try to find somewhere to go other than backwards.
Clayton Adamson on the tackle there. What a great job by Valley's defense not to give up their gap responsibility. White did a great job turning upfield, but he had nowhere to go, and his Marcus Allen routine did not work out so well in that play.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 15. The Cougars, after that big 28-yard run from Graham, have marched backward. And back under center is Charlie Hafner. And the lefty will throw way downfield and out of bounds. Malik Adams, the intended receiver, on the far side of the field, and it'll be a punting situation for the Cougars.
I don't know who was closer to the ball, the receiver or the camera gal over on Kennedy's sideline. If he was throwing to her, she wasn't even close. I wouldn't even throw it to her anymore.
Well, he does have an arm, it would appear.
He unleashed that one.
Ooh, almost blocked, but the punt is away, and here's Ryan New with a few blocks and a few yards on the return, about 5 on the return from Ryan New. A pretty good punt there by Austin Vandersea, I believe, punter, or Steven Swoboda. Didn't catch the number of the punter. We'll apologize for that. But Valley will take over. They have a 14-0 lead, and they have great field position.
Pat, I'm not going to lie to you. You almost have to be half crazy to be a punt returner. Nerves of steel.
Lombardi and the Tigers back on the field. This will be Creighton Mitchell at the tailback spot now, with Nate Wilcoxon also behind Lombardi. Mitchell with the handoff, and he's got some room and a nice move at the 40. He's in open field. He might be gone. One guy to beat down at the 10, and he sneaks by him. A touchdown run of 65 yards for Creighton Mitchell.
There are a few people that love to see that. And one of them, Creighton Mitchell's track coach, Tom Trigstead. Mitchell, a part of the 4x1 and 4x2 teams for Valley's state title track team this past spring.
And here we go. Cole Peterson again for the point after his 3rd PAT. And it's 21-0 Valley here in the second quarter after a 65-yard touchdown run by Creighton Mitchell. A timeout on CISN.TV.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
21-0 Valley after the 65-yard touchdown run by Creighton Mitchell. Trey Fugate, a 1-yard touchdown run, and Bo Lombardi with a 13-yard pass to Ryan New opened the scoring for the Tigers. And here comes the kickoff from Peterson. At the short one, taken by White at the 15. He gets out to the 25. That's where the Cougars will start with 8:32 to go in the first half.
I don't know if that was on purpose or an errant kick by Cole Peterson, but again, it worked. Anytime you can keep the return team inside their own 30, I think that's a pretty successful job on the kickoff.
Charlie Hafner, the quarterback for the Cougars, with an I formation. The handoff to Hendred, and nowhere to go as Jacob McCudden again in with a couple of other Tigers for no gain. 1 yard loss.
Nick Butoff was in on that tackle as well. And I believe one of the linebackers, maybe Carson Shelton, was in on there. Just a little, hello, how you doing?
Avery Bonacci, Carson Shelton, Bracken Cobb, the linebackers for the Tigers that are often in there. Here's another handoff, and back to the original line of scrimmage for Hendred. Will be 3rd down and long.
It's very interesting to see how this game is kind of going, with Valley getting some scores in there and kind of taking the wind out of their sails. Kennedy needs a play here, as they used to be going 8 and 9 yards on first down. This last couple of drives, they've been getting -2 and -1 yard on first down.
Says 3rd and 9 up on the scoreboard as Hafner will take the snap. To his right is Hendred. And the left-hander will drop back to pass, and Hendred has some running room, but is quickly brought down by Avery.
Avery Bonacci did a great job closing in on that. They set up that screen perfectly, and I thought he had a lot more running room than he actually did.
Avery Bonacci, the senior, with a big tackle on Kayron Hendred, forcing a punt from the Cougars. And a good punt this time. Ryan New, fair catch at the 35. So the Tigers will take over at their own 35 with 6:30 to go in the first quarter. A quick timeout on CISN.TV.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
The first down play by the Tigers, an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 from their own 35. It's Valley 21, Kennedy 0. Lombardi taking the play from the sideline, shotgun position with Trey Fugate behind him, who already has 1 touchdown run tonight. And a nice move at the line of scrimmage, getting close to a first down, about 3 yards shy. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Nice job there by Valley. They're running 2 tight ends in there. It's just that the other tight end is lined up as a fullback. Nicky Train was in there right behind Christensen, the junior tight end, and he was set up right next to Jake Remsburg, which is, not a bad side to run behind.
6'3" and 6'7" on that left side of the line for the Tigers. Here's Fugate. He might be short. He will be short of the first down. Interesting 4th down call here, just short of the 45-yard line.
Oh, I question that call. There was a The side judge over here was coming in at the 49.5-yard line. They ended up marking it at the 48.
44, 43 actually, but
same thing.
Yeah.
Who's counting?
But Valley will look to punt here. Are they missing their punter? Yes, Cole Peterson now running out on the field, but that will be a timeout. And we'll take a timeout with them. Valley 21, Kennedy 0. This is CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
5 minutes to go in the first half here on CISN.TV. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornas with the call here. Valley against Cedar Rapids Kennedy, a couple of top 10 ranked teams in Class 4A, and so far it's been mostly Tigers.
The Valley has gotten off to a very good start. And for those of you wondering where Cole Peterson was, he was just out signing some autographs.
I saw him by the Gatorade cooler, and Nicky Train was out there yelling for him on the field. Peterson with the punt. And the Cougars will let it bounce, and it'll get a Valley roll down to the 23-yard line where the Cougars will take over in their own territory. Let's go down to the sideline right now. This is Dar Danielson.
Cole Peterson was over there warming up and apparently didn't realize it was fourth down. Everybody was saying, "Where's Cole? Where's Cole?" So then the clock ran down. They had to call that timeout.
And the first timeout for Valley here in the first half. Here's a run for the Cougars as they take over on offense. Looks like Cade Parker possibly, fullback.
And linebacker. He is a load to bring down.
5'11", 215, and he was a first-team all-district selection at middle linebacker, District 8 of Class 4A. That was last year, and that was as a sophomore. He's a junior this year. First and 10. This is Max White to the far side, and he'll get 3 yards. Is that Wildcat something that's working tonight for Kennedy?
Well, it's a different look, but it's not going to be effective unless they can get it up the field because both teams have great team speed to get to the sideline and stretch plays out. So Wildcat needs to kind of get turned up into that interior line to really work well.
Here they are again with the snap direct to Max White, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. No real gain on that play. In fact, a couple-yard loss. 3rd and 9 for the Cougars. They've had a lot of 3rd and longs here in the first half.
Well, especially here in the second quarter. In the first few minutes of the game, on first down, Kennedy was getting 6, 7, 8, 9 yards a pop, and Valley has just started to reel in Kennedy's offense.
Our first penalty flag of the game, I think. And it's against Kennedy.
Which doesn't help them in the chains gang as far as that is concerned. Moving them from a 3rd and 9 to a 3rd and 14.
One thing that's definitely helped Kennedy in their 2-0 start is few penalties and few turnovers. Again, they beat Jefferson 34-0, Linmar 33-7, but they're trailing 21-0 here at Valley tonight. This is Hafner. And is he sacked? Yes.
Nick Butoff in on that as he came off the edge very well.
So 4th down, another punt coming here for Kennedy. Butoff, the junior, 6'2", 235. Standing at his own 15-yard line is the punter, Austin Vandersea.
And that is a very errant punt as they netted 3 yards.
Oof. So a 12-yard punt earlier in the game and now a 3-yard shank. So Valley will take over in Cedar Rapids Kennedy territory at the 30-yard line. That's good field position.
That is above average. The second best field position they had was after the fourth down play didn't work for them on Kennedy's first drive. They took over on their own 39. This is a 9-yard improvement to the best one they'd had.
And run up the middle is stopped by the Cougars.
Wilcoxon hit the hole hard, but there wasn't much space to move.
Trayvon Bradley, again, the nose tackle. And also, I'm sure Cade Parker was in on that.
He certainly seems to be around that ball tonight.
Hugate, the running back, with Wilcoxon, and Bo Lombardi taking the snap under center. Dropping back, looking for somebody who might be open, and he has a receiver in the end zone. Oh, and through the arms of Jack Johnson after the defender couldn't hang on to it for a possible interception for the Cougars. It'll be third down.
There are two bad situations that come out of a scramble: the overthrow and the underthrow. The underthrow typically comes away with an interception, so Valley was very fortunate to get away with that one. The overthrow, you live to fight another day.
That game against Southeast Polk, we saw Jack Johnson make an incredible catch in the end zone. Here's Nicky Train, unable to catch that dart from Lombardi.
Yeah, that had some heat on it.
3 minutes to go. It'll be fourth down and 10. That's 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Valley 21, the Cougars 0. And it looks like Valley will just go for it here at the Kennedy 30-yard line. Again, fourth down and 10. Lombardi will pass. He's got a guy in the corner of the end zone, but just overthrew the receiver, so the Cougars will take over at their own 30.
Pat, Josh Waymeyer just stepped into the booth. He's getting ready for the halftime show. Valley March Masters. I can only imagine we'll have another very fine season with marching band, and it's going to be a great show tonight.
You can see them way across the way, the marching band making their way to the field. Again, now under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Kennedy with the ball, first and 10 at their 30-yard line. And the pitch to Hendred gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Valley's defense is swarming right now, and I think they're just starting to wear down those big offensive linemen from Kennedy. I did not see Ender get off the ball on that like he has been. So we'll see if some fatigue is setting in.
Looks like both White and Hendred in there behind Hafner. Or that not White in there, but anyway, it's Hendred with the carry, and he gets about 5 yards, so it'll be third down and a bit more manageable possibly for the Cougars. 3rd and 4 or 5.
Pat, I got to keep my voice down. I think Ender heard me because he got off the ball very well, as did Connor Colby. They kind of opened up that middle for a nice game.
It says 3rd and 6 on the scoreboard from about the 34-yard line. A minute 37 to go, and Hafner will look to pass, and he's thrown into double coverage, and it's almost intercepted by John Shaner for the Tigers. Another punt forthcoming here from the Cougars.
You can rest assured that Coach Rebarger is going to talk to Mr. Shaner about his hand positioning there. Whether you're a wide receiver or a defensive back, you don't want to catch it with your pinkies together. You want to get up into the air and see high point it, catch it with your thumbs together.
Here comes another punt. Not a great one, but much better than 3 yards. That was the last punt, but it is into Valley territory at their 48-yard line. So the Tigers will have a minute 24 to work with before halftime, starting at their own 48. Lombardi to New, a 13-yard touchdown pass opened the scoring, 7-0 Valley. Trey Fugate, a 1-yard run, and Creighton Mitchell, a 65-yard touchdown run. 21-0 Valley with the lead and the ball. A minute 24 to go in the first half. Lombardi passing to the far side. It's caught, and some good hard running, close to a first down.
A great job by Creighton Mitchell, just making a no gain into an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, he was running north and south on that one for sure. We're going to hear from Dar Danielson here shortly. We'll cue him up after this play, hopefully. This is Lombardi with the pass to the far side. It is caught and looks like forward motion, a first down. A minute 9 to go in the first half.
Parker Marshall.
And let's hear from Dar Danielson on the sideline.
Kennedy's been trying to bring a lot more pressure up the middle to force Lombardi to get rid of the ball early and also plug up that middle running. And so far, it worked on that last series. We'll see if it works here again.
Valley spreading out the offense, though, here on this play, and Lombardi overshoots his intended receiver. It'll be second down. That stops the clock with just under a minute to go. Is that Parker Marshall that's been in the ball game here recently?
Parker Marshall and also Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson here on the near sideline. Ryan New and Creighton Mitchell out here to the bottom half of the screen.
Lombardi, shotgun, hands it to Fugate, and a nice tackle after a 2-yard gain there by the Cougars. Valley has 2 timeouts to work with here, and they will take a timeout.
Trayvon Bradley came in and made that stop.
We'll be back right after this on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
It'll be third down and 8 for the Tigers from their own, or from the Cougars' 37-yard line. What kind of play are you expecting here, Keith?
Well, that is a great question because every time I have made the statement, Coach Swenson in this situation probably needs to open it up a little bit. He runs it up the middle. And then I'll make a statement about, Valley needs to put together a long drive and needs some clock, and he throws it up over the top. I'm just as curious as you are, Pat.
All right, same formation as that last play. 3 receivers here to the near side, and Lombardi can't hold on to the high snap, and he's going to be sacked.
I can rest assured, Pat, that is not the play that Coach Swenson dialed up.
So the snap from Zach Shaner a little bit high. Looked like Lombardi maybe could have handled it, but just luckily he didn't fumble and lose it. So it will be 4th down and 13. The clock ticking down. We might just go down to the end of the first half here.
I am a little bit surprised that Kennedy isn't taking a timeout to at least force the idea of a punt. See if there would be an errant snap on the punt or if they could block it, something along those lines.
And now there is timeout by Valley with 7.2 left to go. We'll keep it here. Tonight's game is brought to you by Godfather's Pizza, the official pizza of CISN TV. Also, Shields, discover your passion. Thank you to all of our sponsors making this game possible on CISN.TV. Coming up at halftime, we'll get Keith's thoughts on the first half. We'll also hear from Clayton Sampson and get some perspective from him. 21-0 Valley with just 7 seconds to go. The big plays in the first half came. The first one was early. The Cougars took the opening kickoff and drove out to the 43-yard line and then decided to go for it on 4th and 1. And when they were stuffed, that really, right at the beginning of the game, changed everything.
It did change everything. Looks like it's either Hail Mary time or give it a Fugate.
7 seconds to go. Lombardi will heave it toward the end zone. There's Parker Marshall. Almost caught by Jack Johnson. Boy, it looked like it hit him right in the 8.
Yeah, not a great spot to hit a guy.
Just couldn't hang on, and so our halftime score will be Valley 21, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0. We'll come back with some thoughts on the first half after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's All-American Labor Day Sales Event featuring one low price on Iowa's top 2 brands. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. Serving free hot dogs and soda 11:30 to 1:30. Hundreds of new Chevys and Fords marked with one low price. Schottenkirk needs used car inventory and is in a position to give you more for your trade. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. The Labor Day Sales Event going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we got it all.
Valley 21, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0, down to the sideline, and Dar Danielson.
Well, Kennedy's got to be pleased the way they finished up this half anyway. They got a lot more pressure defensively, and, 21-0, not great, but it could have been worse, and I think they were pleased with that pressure. They got to find out offensively, though. The Valley defense is just getting in there and shedding those blocks and really playing well up front with those big guys and giving them little time and little holes after they gave them some early on. So, going in the locker room, got to be a little bit of a win for Kennedy the way they finished up here this first half, guys.
All right, thanks to Dar Danielson down on the sideline. Pat Curtis and Keith Bornus up here in the press box. Valley with a 7-0 lead after the first quarter. Bo Lombardi to Ryan New, a 13-yard touchdown pass. It was 7-0 at that point. And the second quarter, Fugate with a 1-yard touchdown run. Also, Creighton Mitchell, a 65-yard touchdown run. It's 21-0. Your thoughts on the first half, Keith?
I would have to say that I'm pretty impressed with Valley's offensive line. They're doing a great job as they're going against the stacked defense. The stacked defense is giving you 5 linebackers to look at, and the offensive line is being able to pick that up. But it's happening because of the zone running that Valley is running. There's not a lot of just man-on-man blocking. The zone, so you have an area to block rather than a person, and so that's helping them pick that up. The running backs are doing a phenomenal job picking their way through some holes and getting that done. So I'm very impressed with the offense. I think Bo is doing a great job standing in the pocket and having the courage to know there's going to be somebody that's going to break into the open, and Ryan New did on that touchdown run. Valley's defense really doing a nice job against the big offensive line that Kennedy has.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with Kennedy's offensive line. Their center, Zach Ender, is getting out and blocking people downfield.
What will Coach Brian White be saying to his players here at halftime for Cedar Rapids Kennedy to get back in this game?
To get back into this game, he's going to be telling the team, we just got to play one play at a time. We know we can move the ball. We just got to eliminate mistakes. Going backward on first down, second down, the penalties, it's not helping them. And so he's just going to say, play within yourself. That's one of the great coaching lines. Play within themselves and make sure that they take care of what they can take care of, and that is Kennedy football.
All right, that's Keith Bornis. When we come back, we'll hear from Clayton Sampson a little bit and his thoughts on the first half. It's 21-0 Valley on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Pat Curtis back in the press box here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. I'm joined by Clayton Sampson, who's been watching the Valley football team through these first 3 games. Real impressed with the Tigers, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And what's impressed me the most so far is just this phenomenal Tigers defense. I mean, they've showed it the first 2 games, and they've showed it here tonight. Cedar Rapids Kennedy has a pretty talented running back in number 21, but Valley, for the most part, has kept him in check all game. And last week, you know, when you hold the 5-time defending state champs to only 6 points last week, you're doing something right. You're doing your homework. And Valley's shown that so far with their defense.
Yeah, they shut down a high potent Southeast Polk offense and their star running back. Then Dowling, only 6 points and a shutout here at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough great things about this Tiger defense. And also when you look at the offensive side of the football, I mean, the senior leadership of starting quarterback Bo Lombardi, now in his 3rd year as starter, has been to their advantage. And also they're getting a big push up front, like Keith said, from Iowa State commit Jake Lambert in this top-ranked Valley offensive line. And just the backfield, the dynamic duo they have in the backfield between Fugate and Creighton Mitchell, I mean, that's just worked to Valley's advantage all season this far.
Yeah, Creighton Mitchell, a 65-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. That was the 3rd touchdown for Valley. Put them up 21-0, and that's where we are at halftime. Clayton, any last thoughts on the first half?
I mean, it's only a 21-0 ball game here, but Kennedy's really going to have to pick it up in the second half if they want to catch this tough Valley team, because they've been tough in the first half, and they're looking to continue to do that in the second half.
All right. Thank you to Clayton Sampson. I'm Pat Curtis. It's 21-0 Valley at halftime on CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all
on
meat
here
combo, hot
or
stuff,
on the
taco,
field?
yeah, even
I'd rather have
veggie
it on
and
the
more.
field and
All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in
thank
our
you.
lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
The Valley March Masters on the field here at halftime. We're about 11, 12 minutes away from the second half. 21-0 Valley over Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Pat Curtis joined again by Keith Bornis, and you've many years, I guess, had the chance to see this great marching band, haven't you?
Oh, they are phenomenal. It never ceases to amaze me how much work they are willing to put into the band, to the music program in general, but the March Masters really do a great job. This year's show is House of Shadows, dealing with kind of a Halloweenish theme, and Josh Waymeyer has done a wonderful job keeping the tradition of Valley's excellence in marching band for the last couple of years. And in the 20-odd years that I have been in West Des Moines, the March Masters is one thing that I always appreciate watching. Just, you know, I can't remember what that movie was, but they said that halftime is game time. And it's certainly no different for any of the marching bands around the state. And but it really is spectacular to watch what Josh Waymeyer and the Valley March Masters are doing. And I'm not sure the date. I think it's the first weekend in October. We will be having Valley Fest up here. So if you have an opportunity to check that out, marching bands from across the state will be here in competition, and it's always a great show.
Wow. Has that been a long-running thing, Valley Fest?
A very long-running deal. It's it goes from early in the morning until the wee hours of the night, and Valley does an exhibition. They do not actually compete in their own Valley Fest, but they bring in schools in all divisions, Class A, 1A, all the way up into the Metro schools in the 4A sections.
All right.
Right here at Valley Stadium, and it's quite a spectacle.
Aside from performing at halftime of the Valley football games, where does this marching band go?
Well, most schools have some type of a competition, and so Valley will do the Metro schools. They've gone out of state. Valley has been to Hawaii, Ireland. They've marched in, I don't remember if it was Chicago or New York. They've done bowl games. And so to be invited to a lot of those things, the Rose Bowl parade, Valley won a Grammy several years ago for high school division. And so they've been all over the United States over these last several years. And this show proves to be another great feature by the March Masters this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's completed. The rain has actually held up their painting of the some of the set, but
I was wondering about that.
yeah, so it'll look a little bit different here in a week or two.
I'm just amazed that they have, if I counted right, 11 or 12 xylophones out there. Is that something unique to Valley, or?
Well, I don't know if it's unique to Valley. It's going to come down to the number of people you have in your band. But to have all of those maneuvered throughout the field and where they need to be set up, it's pretty impressive. And the parent volunteers that they get to run not only a halftime show, but to run the Valley Fest, it's pretty impressive. And so the Valley community thanks March Masters and all of the people that help out with the March Masters and making that tradition strong. And we're glad to see it keep going.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, many moons ago, I was in high school marching band, and just before the season, it's so many hours you're putting in. And during the season, you're up at 6:30 in the morning carrying a giant bass drum and marching through dew on a football field. And,
right.
Before school, it's a lot of work.
The Iowa High School Athletic Association has changed several things in trying to keep player safety at the forefront of what they want to do. And so in the preseason stuff, it used to be you could have 2-a-days, and some schools have 3-a-days and keep your athletes there all day. Well, now it's changed where in the preseason you only get a 4-hour slot to work with the guys before school begins. And 3 of those hours can be on the field practice. Well, there aren't any restrictions on the band. And so when we're there, the band has already started. And when we leave, the band is still playing.
Wow.
So, yes, the time, the dedication, all those things that go into it, and just learning the steps and what the show is going to be, you have to be very impressed with what it is that they are capable of doing and have done for so long.
We're about 5 minutes away from the open of the second half. It's Valley 21, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0. A timeout on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages. all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into
Let's check in with Dar Danielson on the sideline.
Treat your sports-related
Well,
injuries.
Keith and Pat, it's about the same conditions that we started with kickoff.
Let's go down to the sideline with Dar Danielson.
Keith and Pat, about the same conditions that we started the game with here at kickoff. A little breezy down here, not bad. Probably not going to affect things a whole lot. But Valley, of course, deferred. They'll get the ball to start. And we'll see if that Kennedy defense can keep up what they had going at the end of the first half. And we'll see if Valley made the right adjustments on offense. But again, the conditions, a beautiful night, a little breezy, but shouldn't be anything too much that would affect the game here.
All right. And Keith, all that rain we've had doesn't really affect this field much, does it?
No, it really doesn't. In fact, we had practice down here on Monday, then on Tuesday, and we just got into some pretty heavy rains, but no lightning, thankfully. And there wasn't a puddle anywhere. As much rain as this got, it drained so well. It's very impressive what they can do with these artificial fields, and it's a great place to practice, great place to play. The field is still soft and got a good cushion to it. One thing I'd like to add about Valley March Masters, one thing that they added this year that I'm very grateful to see, Bailey Watke, one of the great baton twirlers in all across the country for that matter, has been added to the show, and she certainly can put on a show herself with some pretty amazing things. When you tune into basketball this winter, Bailey Watke will do some of those halftime shows, and she's pretty amazing to watch.
Is she? Do you know what grade?
I believe she is a sophomore.
Wow. And I would imagine a lot of the members of the marching band, after they leave Valley, go march in some college marching band, right?
Yes, and enjoy it. I haven't followed recent band members like we have in the past to see where they go on to college, but one of the things that we've noticed in the teaching world is a lot of your counselors and administrators have come up through the ranks as either band members or been a part of leading a marching band or the band teachers, and they do such a great job with all of the numbers of students that they have. They find the music in everything, and so we have some great administrators in our buildings that have come up through the music programs.
Great crowd here tonight. It's a beautiful night for a high school football game. The Valley side of the stadium is quite packed, and pretty small crowd from Kennedy, a long way to come all the way from eastern Iowa, but they've got some fans there on the other side of the field, and we're ready for the second half. The Cougars will kick off from our left to right, and it will go in and through the end zone, so Valley will start at their own 20.
Creighton Mitchell thought about toying with that line drive, but ended up thinking better of it and letting it go in and making sure that Valley does have the ball to start on the 20.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Mid-American Energy, a powerful energy resource. Also, G&L Clothing. No matter the weather, we've got you covered. Bo Lombardi, again, the quarterback for Valley, with Trey Fugate and Nate Wilcoxon, the running backs behind him. And this is Fugate with a big hole over the left side. And it'll be 2nd down and 1.
I'm not sure how many times Mr. Parker has been drugged down the field, but Fugate took him for a 4-yard ride before he was able to bring him down. So Valley right off the kicker back to where they had just ended in the second quarter.
Fugate on the loose again for about a 13-yard carry. So he's already gone about 23 yards here in the second half. And a 1st down for Valley at their own 44.
I'd have to say that's a pretty good start. The line getting off to it, getting a great surge off the snap, and Fugate running wild.
Tigers moving quickly here. Looks like they had their plays called before the half started. There's a flag down now. We'll see what this is all about, but another big gain for Fugate.
That was a great run. Nobody likes to see all that laundry come out onto the field, but your first indication is probably going to be a hold, but it wasn't a personal foul against Kennedy.
Ooh, so this will take it even deeper into Cougar territory.
A little insult to injury.
Yeah, 15 more yards here after that big 20-25-yard run for Fugate. Will make it 1st down and 10 Valley at the Kennedy 17-yard line.
Been an eventful 50 seconds.
Fugate hurdling the line of scrimmage and gets a couple yards.
Hey, let's be careful what we say there, Pat. It's not legal to hurdle a person or jump over a person in high school football, but if they're on the ground, like the offensive defensive line were there, you can jump over that.
All right. This time a fake to Fugate, roll out to the near side. Lombardi has a receiver open, but through the hands of Colby Christensen, yes.
Tight end made it into the open. It was a very well-designed play, and you got to account for Fugate. He was running off to the right-hand side, and the Lombardi rolled bootleg back to the near side. Just came up a little short with that play.
So now 3rd and 8, again from the 17 of Kennedy. Opening drive of the second half. Fugate will take it into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown for the Valley Tigers.
You know, you always hear about running backs and people say, God, they're just running possessed. And I think that's a perfect example of what that actually might mean.
Fugate's 2nd touchdown, he had a 1-yard run in the second quarter. And now the 3rd PAT for Cole Peterson makes it 28-0 Valley with 10:29 to go in the 3rd quarter.
We had a little bit of extracurricular going on down there. I think we're going to get a personal foul. I don't know if it's going to be the 5-yard variety or a 3 or 15, but Kennedy did come in hot, and they ended up running over the holder.
And let's go down to the sideline with Dar Danielson. If we can find him here.
He's hiding. There he is.
All right, Dar Danielson down on the sideline if he's ready.
Well, no doubt about it. The Valley's line came out ready to play on that one, just pushing them all over the place there to start out. And I think they got a good talking to at halftime and said, hey, pick these guys out and push them out of the way. And that's basically what they did on that drive.
All right, 28-0 Valley, and the penalty on that point after attempt against Kennedy, obviously, so looks like Cole Peterson will easily be able to kick this one through the end zone.
They called it a 5-yard running into the holder. So a kickoff from the 45.
And that's a different kicker in there.
That certainly is a different kicker, as Aiden Feldman is in to kick.
And, did he keep it in bounds? Oh, it just went out at the 1. So Cedar Rapids Kennedy will catch a break there. Will they start at the 35? Is that where it is marked?
It might go to the 30 because of where they kicked off from.
Oh, that's right. So this will be Kennedy's first possession of the second half. Valley taking their opening possession 80 yards, mostly runs from Trey Fugate, and he ended up with the 17-yard touchdown run, 28-0 Valley early in the third quarter.
And it does indeed look as though Kennedy is going to take over on the 30-yard line. And that is the tough thing about trying to do an angle kick. If the ball hits the ground like the angle kicks you want them to, I don't know what the percentage is, but there is a tendency for it to roll out of bounds before it breaks the end line.
Charlie Hafner, the senior quarterback for the Cougars, tosses it to the far side to Hendred, who gets about a 1-yard gain. Aaron Hendred ran for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns against Linn-Mar last week. He's just had a difficult time finding open field tonight.
Yeah. Well, and there's a reason for that. Logan Cruzman did a great job setting the edge, and he had to turn the running back upfield where he ran right into a linebacker. If you can set an edge and make sure that they don't get that outside, you're in pretty good shape.
Here's a pass and catch, good for close to a first down. It will be it'll be a yard short or 2, it would appear, but that was Jamarian Graham with the catch on the rollout from Charlie Hafner. So it will be third down.
I think it's going to be third and about 2. The chain gang is trying to figure out where to go again.
There we go.
3rd and 3. Or 3rd and 1.
From the 39-yard line, Graham had a big 28-yard run for Kennedy in the second quarter. So he's been in on 2 of their biggest plays. The junior fullback. Shotgun. And the ball skips on the ground, but picked up by Hafner, and running for the first down is Hendred. That was almost a disaster for the Cougars.
Yes, it was not a good start, and it didn't end any better. They did get the first down, but Bracken Cobb, number 17 for the Tigers, just like Cruzman did on the other side, came up, did a great job setting the edge, forcing the running back to head back up, where he was again met by a linebacker.
Again in the shotgun, Hafner gives to Hendred to the far side. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Great open tackle there by John Shaner.
John Shaner coming up from that safety position. Valley Kennedy is trying to run wide. The field just isn't wide enough right now. Valley's defense is flowing very well. Both teams have very good overall team speed, and so the race to the corner tonight has typically gone to the defense.
Second down, 10 from their own 40. This carry for the Cougars.
I don't have a number 16.
Yeah, I don't either on their roster, so not sure who that is that carried the ball there, but nowhere to go. Third down and 10. And that number 16 is still in there. Their roster that we have does not have a number 16.
The only solution we would have to that is to start with number 1 and each play give them a new name.
That is a catch by Thomas Vanek, senior wide receiver, and a pretty good gain there will make it 4th down and 2. It looks like the Cougars will punt.
The gain of 8 was just a shy bit short.
I think this is Austin Vandersea again, back to punt for the Cougars. And that is out of bounds. It'll be interesting how they decide where to mark this. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mid-American Energy, a powerful energy resource. 28-0 Valley. This will be their second possession of the second half. Tonight's game also brought to you by G&L Clothing. No matter the weather, we've got you covered. Also, Godfather's Pizza, the official pizza of CISN TV, and Shields. Discover your passion.
Well, go ahead, Pat.
I was just going to say, Pat Curtis and Keith Bornis with the call here tonight. Dar Danielson down on the sideline. We'll hear from him again here shortly. This is the second possession for the Tigers of the second half.
The officials finally got that punt squared away, and they brought it up to the 18-yard line for the start.
A beautiful pass and catch from Lombardi to J.J. Gass. That is the senior who just came into the ball game, and a big gain. Let's see. They're into Cougar territory at the 43-yard line. I missed where that possession started.
At the 18.
All right. So about a 39-yard pass and catch for the Tigers. Lombardi shotgun. To Fugate on the far side. And good coverage over there by the Cougars.
That shows right there how quick the Kennedy defense is. Fugate was wide open, and he appeared to have plenty of running room after he had made the catch. But he got swallowed up, and I mean in a hurry. Ended up with just that short gain of 1.
Makes it 2nd down and 9. J.J. Gass, who just had that big reception, is on the near side of the field. And this is a handoff to Creighton Mitchell, who makes several Cougars miss, and he's close to another Tiger first down.
Both Fugate and Mitchell have put a lot of time in the weight room. And they are very strong for their side. They have good speed. They can hit a hole quick. And as we've also seen tonight, they can drag a couple of people a little ways down the field.
Yeah, both Fugate and Mitchell listed at 5'8", 170. And here's Mitchell again. And another 10-yard gain. That was 3rd down and short. So now we've got a first down, but there's a flag on the field. And it would appear this is coming back, probably a holding. That's what it is.
And it is. You know, the hold, you know, that is a 10 yards from the spot. So instead of taking the ball close to the 20-yard line, Valley's got it back at their 40. To us, that's like a 20-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard penalty. It negates the gain.
Coach Swenson mentioned how big that penalty was against Dowling last week. They ran in for a touchdown, was brought back.
Mm-hmm.
that penalty against Dowling, and I think he was just reminding his team of that. Here's Bo Lombardi with the keeper, and he runs for a first down.
Nice job seeing the field. At one point it looked like the quarterback, Bo Lombardi, was going to try and throw the ball, but the crowd talked him out of it as they got involved, and I heard several people yell, "Run," which he did.
Over midway through the third quarter here, Valley with their second possession of the second half, marching down the field. Lombardi has a receiver but just overshoots Wilcoxon. Good coverage by the Cougars. Michael Gallagher helped to break that up.
The pass itself was pretty on line and on target. The problem, I'm not sure very many major league hitters could have hit that ball. It was moving in quick.
J.J. Gass and Parker Marshall are the wide receivers as Lombardi drops back and hands it off to Mitchell. There's another flag.
Those hankies must be hot. They're dropping them everywhere.
We didn't see much laundry on the field in the first half, but we're seeing it here in the second. Another holding call on the Tigers.
There aren't very many things that running backs despise more than a big gain with a hold. All that energy exerted. And sometimes those running backs will come back and tell the lineman, "You didn't run 40 yards. You held the guy at 2. I got a long way to come back, fellas."
So now second down and 21 for the Tigers. They're at the Kennedy 37-yard line. Lombardi hands off to Mitchell. Almost an arm tackle there, but he breaks out of it and gains about 7.
Kennedy's had their share of pretty good wrestlers over the course of their history, and that looked like a pretty good lateral drop to me. I didn't catch the number of the guy who threw Mitchell to his back, but
it could have been Jay Ostendorf, a big wrestling name in eastern Iowa. John, you may remember, the heavyweight for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I do.
Yeah, they're related. This will be fourth down for Valley, but they had 21 to go for the first down. Now they have 6. Nicky Train coming into the game for Wilcoxon. Again, Gass and Marshall, the receivers. Fugate, Creighton Mitchell split to the near side. Lombardi takes the snap, and he'll look to run. Maybe no, now pass, and incomplete. So the Cougars will take over with 3:27 to go in the third quarter, trailing 28-0. Penalties.
Yeah, penalties. Nicky Train on that play ran into a kind of a between a rock and a hard spot. You see your quarterback starting to scramble, so you don't know if you stay on your route or if you break off your route and try and come back to the ball. Bo Lombardi's got a pretty strong arm, and in that case, he needed to stay on his route.
First down and 10 for the Cougars, and a pass that is that caught? Yes, a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain for the Cougars will bring up second down, and let's get a sideline report from Dar Danielson.
That holding penalty hurt him there, but one of the few penalties they've had tonight. One of the things I've been noticing about Bo Lombardi, he's been keeping his eyes down the field, whether he's running, whatever happens, he's still looking for that open receiver, and he's kind of getting heated up a little bit here if they get the ball back.
Yeah, Valley definitely looking to pass more here in the second half.
They really are. But that has a lot to do with the fact that Bo Lombardi has been on target these last couple of weeks and throwing some great balls. You know, we saw J.J. Gass have a great catch and run here after coming out of the halftimer on their this past possession. He had a huge catch against Dowling last week that brought him out of the perils of their own end zone and got him upfield.
J.J. Gass, the senior wide receiver for the Tigers. The Cougars have a critical third down play here, incomplete. We'll bring up 4th and 3 yards to go, and they'll have to punt since they're on their own 30 and trailing 28-0.
Christian Kronfeld did catch that pass for Kennedy. The problem is he was not in the field of play when it happened.
I didn't see that he caught it.
No, it was a good catch. Helmet in one hand, caught it in the other.
Here's the punt to Ryan New, who makes a nice catch. Whoa, and he breaks a couple tackles. Another one. He's at the 40 to the 30. He might take this all the way. Ryan New
diving into it.
No touchdown signal yet. Yes, Tiger touchdown, a punt return of about 65 yards by Ryan New. Wow.
Another nice attempt that Coach Tom Trigstead is very happy to see. J.J. Gass, Ryan New, Trey Fugate, Creighton Mitchell, all those guys, Parker Marshall, doing some point scoring last spring at the state track meet.
And the PAT from Peterson, and makes it 35-0 Valley. Ryan New with, I think, a 65-yard touchdown run on that punt. And back after this on CISN.TV.
Schottenkirk's All-American Labor Day Sales Event featuring one low price on Iowa's top 2 brands. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. Serving free hot dogs and soda 11:30 to 1:30. Hundreds of new Chevys and Fords marked with one low price. Schottenkirk needs used car inventory and is in a position to give you more for your trade. Open Labor Day 9 to 4. The Labor Day Sales Event going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee, Schottenkirk Ford Indianola.
35-0 Valley after that 65-yard punt return for a touchdown by Ryan New, the PAT from Cole Peterson. And let's go down to the sideline and hear from Dar Danielson.
That was a pretty catch of that punt. He'd been drawing a beat on those, going to the sideline all night. Caught it just almost like it was a pass coming over the shoulder, turned, and then made a few moves on his own to break that for the touchdown. But what a great play.
All right, thanks, Dar. And Valley kicking off with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. A short kick taken at the 20 and out to the 30-yard line. That's where the Cougars will start. I imagine we're getting to that point of the game where we might see some substitutions here.
It's always nice to get to that point by either team when you start to bring in some new numbers and get people playing time. You know, your entire team comes to practice. They work hard all the way through. So it's good when several of them get in and contribute.
See Kadar Lewis out there for the Tigers now at a cornerback position. And there's that number 16 again at quarterback, having that pass knocked away. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
C.J. Jackson was in pursuit of number 16. But one of the things that he did not do on that is he took an inside penetration step and was not able to race to the corner. When you have that outside responsibility, you have to keep containment over there, and you always have to keep your outside arm free. Which means you also need to attack from the outside. And C.J. Jackson did get sucked in on that play, giving a little space to roam about.
Hunter Underwood in there for the Tigers as well. And now an interception. Wow. Going up for it and grabbing it looks like Drew Urich. that who it was?
Drew Urich, indeed it was. Great job kind of swarming the defensive backfield. All receivers covered, and the safety being able to come over and make the interception.
And all right, that's the end of the third quarter. Valley 35, Kennedy 0 on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
We just had our first turnover of the ball game, the last play of the third quarter. Real athletic play by Drew Urich.
It was. He went up high for that interception. But that's exactly why, when we talked earlier, wide receivers, defensive backs, whoever you are, if you're going to go up for a ball, you got to go up and high point it so that way you have the best opportunity to come down with the catch.
So Valley has the ball now in Cougar territory at the 44-yard line. And it looks like we have a number of new players in there on offense. The quarterback is Casey Stalzer.
Tegan Ho was on the carry, and he looked to have a great start out of the block because he gained 8 yards on his first touch of the night.
So Stalzer under center. He's a junior for the Tigers. And he'll pass here and almost caught there by Grant Clark. Will be 3rd down and 3.
Stalzer throws a very nice ball. And another thing that Stalzer has is he does have good footwork, and he has pretty decent speed. So we'll see if he uses his legs at all.
5'10", 165. The junior hands off to running back Tegan Ho.
Nice job by Tegan Ho to find that hole and get the gain he needed. He needed 3. He got 3.5 for the Tiger first down.
Valley 35, Kennedy 0. Ryan New, a punt return of 65 yards for a touchdown. Trey Fugate, a couple of touchdown runs. Creighton Mitchell ran 65 yards for a score, and Bo Lombardi a touchdown pass to Ryan New. So New with a couple of touchdowns in this game. Another run by Ho.
Positive yards are positive yards. It's always great when you have a backup running back come in or a backup fullback come in, backup quarterback come in, and you're moving the ball forward. Anytime it's a positive play, that's a positive play.
2nd down and 9 for the Tigers at the Cougar 32. A pass. Ooh, maybe the defender got there a little early, but no flag. Will bring up 3rd down and 9.
Nate Lasher, the intended receiver. Nate Lasher, a very good track athlete in his own right. The football team right now is kind of full of track athletes.
The 3rd down run for Tegan Ho will be a 1st down across the 20. A big hole on that right side.
Tegan Ho kind of looking like a veteran there, setting up his blocks and letting people get down in front of him to help him get that. Was an 11-yard gain?
Yeah. Tegan, a senior running back. They list him at 5'8", 170. Or do you have to be 5'8" and 170 to be the tailback for the Tigers?
Well, it's kind of like out in Washington, D.C. You got to fit the uniform to guard the tomb.
Okay. Second down and 11 coming up from the Kennedy 20-yard line, a yard or two loss on that play. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Mid-American Energy, a powerful energy resource.
Dante Manuel into the offensive backfield.
And is that him with the carry?
It sure was.
Couple yards. Close to the original line of scrimmage will be third down and maybe 9.
And Jaden Thomas was in there as the blocking back. And I'm not sure if anybody would guess this, but he is 5'8", 170.
Dowling shutting out Johnston tonight. Here it's Valley shutting out Cedar Rapids Kennedy, and a first down carry for the Tigers.
Dante Manuel again.
Another score in Cedar Falls beating Ankeny 28-7. I think that Dowling final was 27-0. Not a good week to draw Dowling if you're Johnson.
I don't think that would be I don't think that would be fun to draw Dowling if you were anybody this week.
True. Des Moines East over Roosevelt 27-0 tonight. Second down and 5 here for the Tigers. That's goal to go. Already leading 35-0, but a number of second string players in there now for the Tigers trying to get on the board.
Oh, and Manuel is very close, down to the 1.
It will be third and goal from the 1. 6:10 left in the game. Dante Manuel, the running back, he'll get the carry. Can he get in the end zone? Yes, he does. Dante Manuel, the junior running back, with a 1-yard dive and push by the left side of the Tiger offense, makes it 41-0 Valley with another extra point coming up here.
And you know what's really great to see is when you have your second, third, fourth string guy in, and when he has the opportunity to score a touchdown and does, who's right there to give him the high five? Ray Fugate.
Cool. And I think we have a different kicker in there as well. And the PAT is good, making it 42-0 Valley on CISN.TV.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively and relentlessly at your service.
Down to Dar Danielson on the sideline.
That was a good piece of running by Dante Manuel. He straight up, straight ahead, no juking and jiving. Just went right in there, found the hole, went straight on in. A lot of other Valley players warming up here, getting ready to go in. We'll see them here in a minute. And just a quick preview, next week, Valley is at Waukee in a game you'll see right here on CISN.TV also.
All right. Thank you to Dar Danielson for all the great sideline reports tonight. Pat Curtis and Keith Borness up here in the press box as Valley leads 42-0. Keith, you surprised with the lopsided score tonight? You knew it was possible.
Well, yeah, anything's possible. If a team gets rolling, whether you're supposed to win big or not, you know, a score can turn lopsided. I am a little bit surprised at it just because Kennedy runs that stacked defense so well, and they're bringing 6 and 8 guys on third down. There's a lot of pressure coming in, and Lombardi felt it all night. But Valley handled it.
The Cougars have their first team offense on the field. That is Hendred with the carry. He just hasn't been able to get off the outside edge and get in the open field much tonight. Actually, no real big gains for the star running back for the Cougars. Tonight's game also brought to you by CenturyLink. Third down and about 4 yards to go, 3 or 4 yards to go for the Cougars here, with just over 5 minutes to go in the game.
Nice job by Kennedy's Joshua Viss getting into there. He had a great push coming off the line and kind of helped out with that 2-yard gain.
Third down and 3. It looks like Cougars will come up about a yard short of the first.
Tyler Hammer coming around as he pulled from the near side here over to the upper part of the screen. The play was set up very well, but he was not able to pull up into the hole and lead his running back up in there, so the kickout block did not happen. And that does bring up that 4th and short.
J.J. Gass running onto the field as the punt comes his way. They couldn't decide who was going to return the punt, but it just dies on the 40-yard line. That's where Valley will take over in their own territory as the clock keeps running. Under 4 minutes to go. Valley leading Kennedy 42-0. Stick around after the game. Dar Danielson is going to do his best to grab Coach Gary Swenson for a post-game interview on the field. So be interesting to hear from him, his thoughts moving to 3-0 and a big game coming up next week against Waukee.
Yes, Valley Waukee has turned into quite a rivalry.
And as Dar said, you can watch that right here on CISN.TV. So spread the word for us. And if you can't get to the game yourself, you can tune in and watch it right here. 3 minutes to go. Just a handoff up the middle there for, I believe that was Keegan Ho on the carry. Whoa. And Ho is met at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards a few yards on that second down play.
Yeah, he kind of got a welcome to the game introduction. He has run the ball very well tonight, but Kennedy certainly not going quietly.
Tucker Klett, don't think I've said his name much, but he's definitely been in on some big tackles for the Kennedy defense. He's a senior. 6 foot 230, that left end position.
I'm not sure if there's a false start here or if they're going to get number 43 Trayvon Bradley for sneaking up in there. But it ended up being a false start, so Mr. Bradley kind of spooked the offensive line into a quick jump there.
Now 3rd and 18 for the Tigers, again with a lot of second-string players on the field right now. Here's a nice pass caught by Grant Clark, and he picks up some more yards after the catch. Nice pass as well from Stalzer.
Nice pass, nice catch. Great to see Grant Clark out there getting some catches. As a freshman, he had a pretty bad knee injury that took him out of the season, and he slowly worked his way back in. So congrats to him on making it into where he wants to be, a varsity football player at Valley High School.
Very cool. He's got a brace on that left knee still. Is that, I assume, because of that injury 3 years ago? Stalzer just missing his target there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So there's been a few turnovers on downs tonight, but only the one interception as far as what most people consider turnover.
Yeah. And that was Drew Urich, the last play of the 3rd quarter, an interception for the Tigers. And trying to think if that led to a score or if Valley ended up punting on that possession, but
I think that one did lead to a score.
Dante Manuel, the 1-yard run, the last touchdown, that was after the interception.
Zach Ender got off the ball so hard after he snapped it. He was downfield and had nobody to block. Everybody was still standing as he got down there. The play trailed him by 2 or 3 seconds. That's getting off the ball.
Just 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Valley with a very convincing 42-0 win tonight, it would appear, unless something really odd transpires here in the final 20 seconds. Clock moving again. Here is Hendred, possibly the final play of the game. Again, stick around here. We're going to hear from Coach Swenson, I believe, with Dar Danielson after the players and coaches are able to shake hands on the field, and there are the final ticks of the game. Our final score is Valley 42, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0. And Keith, pretty lopsided tonight for the Tigers.
Well, the score is.
Yeah.
I think you can give the argument that Kennedy played a very good game, but big plays really determined the outcome of it. Both teams had some good, nice drives, but when you take a look at a 60-yard plus touchdown run and a 65-yard punt return and a big pass play to J.J. Gass and then a nice touchdown pass 13 yards plus to Ryan New. I mean, these are big plays. So the sustained drives, I'm going to say Kennedy did a nice job when it came to sustained drives, staying in the game that way. One of the things that they're going to want to continue to work on as the season goes is just making sure that they do keep big play offenses in check. From Valley side, I think everybody's pretty excited to see the big play potential.
Yeah. Ryan New with 2 touchdowns tonight, one on a punt return, one on a catch from Lombardi. Let's take a timeout right here, and when we come back, hopefully we'll be able to catch up with Gary Swenson down on the field. This is CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Let's go down to the field and Dar Danielson with Valley head coach Gary Swenson.
We're here with head coach Gary Swenson and the Valley Tigers. Congratulations on the win here tonight, Coach.
Thank you. I thought we played really well against a good football team.
You started out strong, and then in the second quarter seemed like they adjusted a little bit defensively, were putting a little pressure on you, but then you came out to start the second half, you got the ball, and you really kind of took control then, didn't you?
Well, good teams adjust, and they've got some good players, and you're right, we got out to a quick start, but we knew that they were going to make some adjustments, and they did, and then we kind of stopped ourselves a couple times, but they are just a quarterback shy of being a really explosive football team. Those two running backs are good. They've got a big offensive line. But I thought our kids were outstanding in pretty much every phase of the game tonight. We threw the ball well when we threw it. And then both Fugate and Mitchell, they're very dynamic running backs, and they both had a chance to show what they could do tonight.
Offensive, the other line came out and kind of punched you early, but your defensive line responded, and they made the adjustments, didn't they?
Well, this is the third straight week we've played against, for high school, a very big offensive line. They weren't quite as big as last week with Dowling, but they were actually probably moved better. That's a good football team. The running backs are good. I thought we kept them out of the end zone. We knew they were going to get some yards.
This series with these Eastern Iowa teams, it's kind of nice, isn't it? You get to play these teams on the other side of the state a little bit. It's a little something different.
Well, when we started this 5 years ago now with Iowa City West, we wanted to measure ourselves up against some of the better teams on that side of the state. So we went 2 years with West, 2 years with Bettendorf, and now we got 2 years with Kennedy. They're all good programs and all good football teams.
I know you evaluated afterwards, but any quick thoughts on where you need to work the most on after this third game?
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, like everybody does. It's week 3, but we're getting better. We're seeing progress, and if we can just stay healthy for the most part, that's the key. We don't have a tremendous amount of depth. We become a different football team if a few key guys get hurt. But most people are in that boat. But if we keep these guys on the field and keep them together, we're going to be hard to handle.
And you turn right around and got to go to Waukee, so it's never an easy night, is it?
No, these first 6 games are all against good football teams. That's okay.
Well, you got the win tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you on CISN.TV next week.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Coach Gary Swenson here. They win 42-0 here tonight over Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
Thank you, Dar Danielson, for his work on the sideline. Thank you, Keith Bornis, for your help tonight in the color commentary role. I'm Pat Curtis. Thank you for watching on CISN TV. I want to thank all the crew here tonight for the great work. Another great game here for Valley. Keith, just your final thoughts.
Yeah, it really was a great game, and I think what I appreciated the most out of Valley tonight was the fact that they had a complete game. There really wasn't any letdown here or there, and their overall team speed looked good.
All right, again, the final, Valley 42, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0. Thank you for watching CISN TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.